right, guys. Well, listen. Good evening. I actually appreciate the time to talk to you guys, and I mean that because in some level of preparation for this, it definitely got to reflect, brought back some great memories, and sort of, I don't know, thought about what I was going to share with you. I'm probably just going to tell stories and maybe make you laugh a little bit, but I wanted to share with you some things that I learned, or I have learned, and still continue to learn over my career. Probably going to do less on, I was an account manager in 1997 kind of thing, because you guys could probably care less about that. But I did listen to a couple of the other brothers speak, and it was great to hear some of their stories. So again, I hope I can share some things with you. But I tell you, the one thing I want to start with is I thought about talking about this. I really believe that we are all bits and pieces of the people that are around us. And what I mean by that is, whether it's your parents or your friends, I think, the people you hang out with, the people you're around, you learn from them. They show you how to handle things. Sometimes they show you how not to handle things. And I think I look at myself, and pretty fortunate. I've had a pretty decent life, career-wise, family-wise, etc. And I've been surrounded by great people all my life. And the fraternity, obviously I'm talking to you guys, I can't tell you how much the fraternity meant for me, the foundation it provided for me. And I really hope that you all are gaining that experience as well. If you don't feel it now, I think you will after you leave school, because there's going to be a tight-knit group of people that you associate with and hang out with. You're going to be going to their weddings. When you go on vacations, you're going to try to catch any guys' weekends with them, etc. And it's something very special, right? There's a lot of other people I went to RIT with. I have no idea where they are in life, and honestly don't care. But my fraternity brothers are the guys I stay in touch with. So again, I hope you all are experiencing that. I'm sure you certainly are. I thought seeing I'm an old guy, pledge class 1. And I thought I'd share with you how I got introduced to Phi Kappa Psi, just to let you know it's before Twitter and stuff, the power of word of mouth. I'm from Rochester, New York, and I went to MCC, Monroe Community College, just down the street from you guys, not too far away. And out in this place called the Brick Lounge. We're in between classes, we would just play cards. And every Friday we'd figure out something that we would want to go do. At any rate, word of mouth, there was this party at 185. And we're like, whatever, right? What's 185? I don't think I've ever been to RIT's campus. And so there I am, parking in, I guess, what is New Perkins, if that's still called that, and walking towards 185. And do I bump into a fellow by the name of Eric Harrington, who I went to grammar school with. And I hadn't seen Eric in, I don't know, a long time. Bumped into him, and he's got these funky-looking letters on a football jersey, and of course it's Phi Kappa Psi. I knew nothing about it, and I said, yeah, where's 185? And he said, well, that's our party. So I go over there, and get introduced to some of the brothers, drinking beer, hanging out with Eric, catching up on old times, and then I said, these letters are pretty cool. All you guys are wearing these things. So he lets me wear his letters. So you guys, he was a little bit in trouble. So Dave Nadeau, I think, was actually at that party, probably where the sergeant at arms and him carrying the stick in meetings and stuff occurred, because Eric got in trouble for me wearing Greek letters. But I told Eric I was transferring to RIT. He said, you should come check us out, whatever. I didn't know what the Greek system was. I didn't know what a fraternity was. But I was invited to one of the Rush events, which I didn't know what that was. But there was food and beer, and I thought that was pretty cool. Met some of the guys. I was waiting around on midnight, and doesn't this group of 30 guys come storming into the door room, grab me, take me back to 185. I got a chance to meet Ken Way. I saw Ken Way on campus. I saw him at a Rush event.
and realized he was one of the, I don't know what the appropriate word is these days, pledge educator. You guys know what his role was, but I've always looked up to Ken for meeting him on day one, and had an opportunity to hang out with someone like him. I said, oh, this is great. And the pledging was phenomenal. We did the car wash, the, philanthropy, Sojourner House. I still have my notebook where I got all the brothers' signatures. So the point of all that, guys, is just a tremendous foundation for me personally and my brothers, just to learn what, being a part of a team, seeing other people's point of views, the power of many. So anyway, that's how I got introduced to the fraternity. Absolutely loved it. One of the best decisions made in my life. And again, I hope you guys all feel that way. Is how you got a part of Phi Kappa Psi. So just sort of, electrical engineering technology sort of hopping into my career. I've had a variety of different positions in my career, a couple different companies. If any of you guys are in your major right now and you're sort of scared because you don't want to do a job in that major, it's normal. I did not want to be an electrical engineer. I realized that at 4 years into my curriculum, and that was a little too late. I wanted to get a job as a quality engineer for a company, and then I transferred into sales, and I've been in sales ever since. I've talked to a lot of fraternity brothers. A lot of them have changed jobs, careers, etc. So I share that with you because if you're going through some level of anxiety of, oh my God, where am I going to live? What am I going to do? Again, I think you're graduating from a great school. You're decent guys because you're right, you're part of Phi Kappa Psi. And anyway, things will work out for you. I think if you got a good work attitude, good work ethic, you'll do well no matter where you go. So again, not to bore you, but I've done sales management, I've managed sales managers, i.e. director. And if you see in 2014, I put a very fortunate thing occurred, and I lost my job. And I share that with you because that stuff happens. It didn't happen to me until 20 years after I left college. I worked at a company for 20 years. So the reason I'm glad it happened is because it woke me up. And I just share that with you because, getting complacent, going through the motions, not challenging yourself, it's probably not healthy for you. So I was caught flat-footed. My position was eliminated, and it forced me to kind of get off my ass and get my resume, get my LinkedIn, and get networking and get that kind of going again. And I couldn't be happier at the current job that I'm at right now. And I'm back alive. So I share that with you. If you find yourself going through the motions, sort of going to work, going to the same meetings, talking to the same people, doing the same trade shows, blah, blah, blah. It just might be time to, spice it up a little bit, maybe even change companies. Just some, again, just about me, family, got 4 kids, beautiful wife, love my family to death. They're phenomenal for me. Hobbies, very active, always have been. And recent love is triathlons. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. So that's sort of slide 1 through of me. If you guys don't know me, hopefully you know me just a little bit. I decided to create a second slide. Peter, is that up now?
Yes, now it is.
Okay. Just some random thoughts, guys. I wanted to share with you things that I would just encourage you to take into account. You can throw them out, or you can absorb them and use them. But these are just tips and tricks from me. And I sort of start out with setting and committing to goals. I think sometimes we, as human beings, we hold ourselves back a bit because we don't set the bar high enough. And I found wherever I set goals and commit to them and write them down, chances are I accomplish them. And I'm sure you all have had maybe some of that experience. I just encourage you to do it. when I say SMART objectives, the SMART stands for something specific, measurable, there's some attainment, they're realistic, and they're time-bound. If you say you want to join a gym, that's not really a goal or an objective. If you want to, run 3 days a week, to, run a 5K or something like that, it's something very specific, something very measurable. I just encourage you to write it down. It's too easy to sort of think about something you want to do. If you don't write it down, I'd say it's not a commitment. I just encourage you to set your sights on things and write them down and go after them, whether it's personal or whether it's work. I promise you that's a good way to go about things. I mentioned 401k and 529 plans, and you guys are probably thinking why. Good brother Phil Farchione, he was one of the guys that graduated a year ahead of me, and he came back and told us about 401k plans. You got to save for your retirement. And of course, I'm thinking I'm 22. I'm a senior at RIT. I don't even have a job. Why the hell am I going to think about retirement? I just encourage you guys. It was from Phil's suggestion and discipline. Now that I'm 45 years old, I'm glad I listened to Phil. We'll just put it to you that way. So I encourage you guys, as you look at companies and they have matching programs and you can save for retirement, that you do so. Whether you like it or not, you will be deemed wealthy and you'll be taxed in great fashions when you leave RIT and get a job. So you're probably going to need to plan your own retirement. So start right away. You get the benefits of compound interest and 20 years of life. I set a long-term goal, to have $401,000 in my 401k when I was 40.1 years old. So that's the kind of commitment and discipline that I put into that. So you math majors can get out your spreadsheets and figure out what I had to do to do that. 529 plans, I don't know if any of you folks are fathers, but that same discipline I applied towards saving for my college education for my kids. Again, same discipline from 401k. So again, I just encourage you guys as you get out, time will fly. Make sure you start thinking about the future, right after you leave school. I think it's really important. And I know a lot of people that have not, and I worry for them. All right, so make sure you do that. I listed Savage Train here because I'm kind of proud of that. We talk about written goals and triathlons. I was terrified of the swim. I didn't like to swim. I can't swim. I hold my breath. I couldn't breathe. I was doing awful things. I signed up for a triathlon. I wrote it down. I committed to a sprint triathlon a couple years ago, and I finished it. And I was really excited that I finished a sprint triathlon. And then I signed up for another one. And so in the past few years, I've done 25 triathlons, and I've medaled in 17 of them. And I mentioned Savage Man because I did Savage Man, which is a half Ironman, and it's actually one of the top 10 triathlons on planet Earth. And I couldn't believe that, holy crap, a guy 3 years ago who was afraid to swim and could barely finish a sprint triathlon did one of the top 10 toughest triathlons in the world. It's just, again, guys, the power of setting goals and committing to them. So I just share that with you, and hopefully you do that. The next sort of thing to share with you is what great looks like. And it's cliche, it's from a book, Jim Collins, Good to Great. But far too often this question is not asked. I encourage you, in whether it's something in a fraternity or whether it's something at work, ask your boss, ask your marketing person or whatever. Hey, 12 months from now, what would make you do a cartwheel? Right? What would make you give me a high five? What would make you give me a raise, right, or a promotion? what's great look like? And it just allows you to pursue something. Many times people just sort of go with activity and confuse activity with results without knowing what the end prize looks like. So I encourage you, whether it's personal life, whether it's work stuff, sort of ask yourself, hey, what do we want at the end of this project, right? Or at the end of this, whatever. And obviously you're not there, otherwise you wouldn't be doing it. And then you identify the gaps and build a plan. Very simple philosophy. I've applied it many times in life, and it works really well for me. Well, the next section, we talk about integrity. I listed Google, Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Guys, Toby Metcalf sent out an article, right? You can't delete from the internet. I got a list of, I think, 10 of you guys in that room, and I'm not going to name names, but I did some 30 minutes of research on you fraternity brothers, and I found some things that I don't know if you'd want to be out there. I saw some tweets from 2012 that wouldn't put you in great light. Some stuff about politics. One of you guys on YouTube, you liked a song by Soulja Boy, and I went and listened to the song, and it was littered with F-bombs and cusses and F this and F that. So I share with you guys, in today's day and age, if I'm looking to hire you, I'll glance at your resume. I'm going to Google you, and I'm going to research you. And if anything, some of you guys would have some really tough interview questions with me. But what exactly about this Soulja Boy song did you like? So, in some of these Twitter comments. So, I share that with you guys. You need to go Google your name and see what's out there. And I highly recommend you clean it up. Employers do that. I do it all the time to check people out. And so that's just word of advice to you guys. And the other thing is I'd be careful if you're on too much social media. If I'm going to hire you, I'm not sure if you're going to work for me or you're going to update your 8, freaking websites and apps and all this other stuff and liking photos and all that. So I think it's good to be on social media. I just think you need to manage it. So, and be careful drinking and posting. I think we've all made that mistake. You look the next day and you're like, oh my God, I said that. And then you delete it. Because a drunk man's comments are a sober man's thoughts. So just be careful with that. So the other thing is, guys, company parties. I know you guys out of college, man, the sense of free beer is awesome. For us older guys, it's just, I'm going to have a hangover tomorrow. But listen, take it easy at the company parties. I've had situations where I didn't. It can be embarrassing, and it can really hurt your career. So the other adage is just honesty and effort. That's between you and you. Right? So you know if you're putting in your best effort or not. So that's just, again, between you and you. So just do your best to put in your best effort, be as honest as you can. And kind of miscellaneous things, and I'll let you guys ask me some questions. Just encourage you to get out of your comfort zone. Right? Take a cooking class, try something different. Raise your hand to lead a program, and maybe you wouldn't. You probably got a handful of guys in the fraternity that always coordinate the social or always coordinate something. I don't know, if you don't do that, I don't know, raise your hand and you take a turn. Lean forward, that's something, if you see something that you don't think is right, lean forward, take it on. Don't be passive aggressive. Take some things on. Live with no regrets. I think you guys heard Brian Ventry, right, traveling to Asia. And he decided he didn't want to do that. Personally, as a father, I've changed every diaper I can. I've read every book. My son asked me to play football. I stopped what I'm doing. We throw the football. Because in the event, I'm on a plane and it's going down, I have no regrets. I've lived everything that I have to the fullest that's important to me. Encourage you to do that. Maintain emotional control. You guys are going to be in situations where you're going to yell and scream and pound your fist on the table and stomp out of the room. I've done that. People think you're an idiot when you do that. Try not to be an idiot. Embrace change. Guys, change is around you everywhere. Rather than piss and moan and complain about it, just turn it out and give it a big hug and figure it out. Your company is going to change policies. We're going to want you to do something different, and don't piss and moan about it. Just figure it out and embrace it. Change is coming. It's constant. You'll always be there. The next one is assume the best in everyone. You should do that. Nobody wakes up in the morning and says, I'm gonna ruin this guy's day or that guy's day. And sometimes you think of somebody, they're a complete, idiot. Assume the best in that person. They probably don't have an agenda against you. You might have a different opinion than they have, but assume the best in everyone. You would want them to assume the best in you. Brian Venture mentioned this as well. Right? Companies hire character. We'll train the skill. You guys came from a university. I know you can memorize protocols and formulas and all that other stuff. I'll train you that stuff. I want to get the high character person. Are you honest? You work hard? People like you? Right? So be high in character. Another one that Venture said that maybe write this down about, look people in the eye and shake their hands. Guys, for Christ's sake, iron your shirt. Get some collar staves and shave. Don't look like a bum. So, anyway, guys, that's 20 years of my life crammed in the choppy Skype calls and echoey cell phone here. So, Peter, hopefully that hit the mark. Hopefully you guys gain something from that. And go Google yourself, if anything, tonight. And clean up your digital profiles.
Okay, I think we'll open it up to questions. What is your favorite Phi Psi memory from your undergrad years?
Favorite Phi Psi memory? God, there are so many, guys. I think, if I had to categorize it, I'd say pledging. The bonding experience that I got, the brothers of the fraternity were almost gentlemen. We made a pact. We'd never get naked. We'd never drink a bottle of booze, kind of thing. Pledging was just phenomenal. I just made some great friends. Knew that I was becoming part of a great organization. Hopefully that answers the question.
Is it possible to not be involved in social media? Like, can you be too little involved in it, I should say? Is that like a red flag for employers?
I don't know, guy. I don't know if there's an exact answer for that. Twitter for me is a read function. I follow athletes and sports columnists and, companies and that stuff. I don't tweet, but I read other people's tweets. I got off of Facebook. Mike Van Brennesseed's advice to us at Alumni weekend got me on that. I jumped Facebook. The return wasn't there for me on Facebook. So I think it's important. I wouldn't have zero social media because that might show that you're not kind of current with technology. So I think you have to have some. I think you just need to be disciplined and use it properly. And I wouldn't have too much.
What's something that you wish you had done or learned while you were at RIT?
Oh, you know what, guys? I wish, here's the deal, right? In the electrical engineering, I got all the labs and everything. You guys know how it works. And then you got to take an elective. and I'm disappointed in myself. I took shortcuts. I took the class that friends or brothers said, oh, take this guy's class. All you got to do is show up and, I don't know, there's open book exams or something like that at the end, right? And I didn't take the opportunity while I had it to learn, to take another language, to, take a musical instrument, to learn how to swim, right, for Christ's sake. So, because guys, when you get out of school, when I got out of school, I didn't have a laptop. I didn't have an iPhone. I didn't have email. When you guys get out, your companies are going to consume you. Email's 24/7. You probably feel it now, right, already. So, to the question, I wish I took the opportunity of being in school to learn some things outside of electrical engineering. And I didn't. And it's very difficult once you're working, you have kids and all that stuff, to go back and do that stuff. So I encourage you guys, if you have an elective or you have time, or learn something.
For someone who puts so much time and effort into their family and faith into their family, which do you think that is a better life decision, I guess? Is it better to pick a job that you like, not love, that would, give you really good pay and really help and support your family? Or should you take a job that you love that, maybe isn't paying so much, and you can't really give your family all the resources they necessarily deserve?
So my answer to that, guys, is, I'm sorry, was there an add-on to the question?
No, that's it.
Okay. My answer to that is find both. There's enough out there to find a career that you can love. You're going to love your family. And you just, and if you're not happy with your career, maybe you're in the wrong one, right? You'll make the sacrifices for your family. I'm up doing work on Saturday mornings and working out at 4:30 in the morning kind of thing, so I can take my kid to the bus stop and whatnot. So I would encourage you guys to find both. Now, one might be, you might have to sacrifice a little bit to sort of get things going, but family's always first. You will find a good company and a good career somewhere. I would never compromise my family over my career, ever.
All right. I think I'll let Rob have some closing statements with you.
We wanted to thank you for joining us today. We're trying to, as you know, establish a connection between the undergrads and alumni, and hearing different points of view about the different paths our alumni have taken in life have been just very helpful. I want you to know in particular, the group of undergrads we have are very health conscious, and they're very into making sure that they're taking care of their physical bodies as well as molding their minds through college. So I appreciate the comments that you had about your efforts to stay in shape and be in the triathlons. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, and we'll talk to you soon. All
right, thanks again, Don.